Hashmi.
Mr. Richards, I have lived in Paris for the last 6 years, and I'm bothered by the fact that there has not been a tremendous amount of progress in Paris in the last so many years that one looks back. I feel that my first and foremost task is going to be to develop a future plan for the city, a plan that can be executed, a plan that can be implemented. My other goals are, one, that I want to motivate and empower the citizens in the community. I want to open a city council office, not by using the city funds, but by myself, where volunteers will work in the office and have contributions from, time contributions from the citizens, where people can come and meet their city councilors, where people can discuss important issues that face the city. The short-term goal, obviously, which is on everybody's mind these days, is the appointment of a city manager. Obviously, this is a very important decision, and we run a $25 million organization, a not-for-profit organization, and I want to be part of the decision-making process in hiring a city manager. I want to be sure that the person has the knowledge, the ability, and has the zeal and has the determination to take us into a future where all of our kids and we ourselves enjoy Paris. The last and final thing that I would say is that I want to see a lot of economic development in the Paris. I don't want to change the look of and make it into a big city, but I want to see economic development in Paris, and I've actually discussed it with Mr. Gilbert, who's here, about trying to see what can be done to bring more businesses into Paris. Now, it's easy to say bring more businesses, but one has to realize there are plenty of small towns like Paris. We are thinking of conducting an economic base study for Paris, and then developing an idea of what are the positives and negatives of the city, improve the negatives, and finally attract businesses to town. Right now, we have a serious issue as far as I'm concerned, and that is that 20% of our population is essentially employed by three major businesses, the hospital, Kimberly-Clark, and Campbell Soup. If any of those businesses suddenly shut down, we have a serious problem at hand. And I think one of the big motivations of me running is to see what improvements can be made, just like I came and tried to improve the health services in the city and in the cardiology services in particular. That's my goal.
Briefly, do you have time for the job? You're a doctor. Do doctors have time for things like this?
Mr. Richards, the answer to that question is that when you run an organization, and which is a successful organization, you learn how to divide your time appropriately, number one. Number two, you learn how to prioritize things. Now, I have schedulers in the office who schedule things for me, and anything that is important comes on my schedule and stays on my schedule. Now, if it is a city council meeting, so be it. That will be on the schedule, and we'll have time for that. Besides the fact that one thing one must realize, and I'll give you a short example, that if a non-physician who's a city council member is going to a city council meeting and sees an accident and the person is dying, I would certainly hope that the city council person, whether he's a physician or a non-physician, stops and takes care of the acute problem. And obviously, being a physician, I have my priorities, but one of my priorities is the city council, and I'm, I think, smart enough to know that if I didn't have the time, I wouldn't do it.
Ms. Rogers.